Hey there, we are going to make, this will be January of 2024's freebie for the month, and then it'll be available after that. So, this is going to be a little Love Donuts shelf sitter. So, I'm going to show you how anyone can do it with just a basic laser with a little kickstand. And then also I have where I'm going to do for, this is a 1/2 inch that I cut with my laser. I have a Thunder, but I also have a Glowforge too. So I want to make it available for everybody. So we're going to start out with, let's do the white letters, I think. So all I'm going to do is do the baby white method. I'm going to use the color White Flower. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to put a little paint on and just kind of rub it off a little bit just so I don't have any glops in my, this isn't going to matter so much because I actually, you can see I cut it because the stitches were bigger, and so I didn't want the little pieces in the center to stick out, so I just thought it would be better if I just cut it. And you'll still get the same effect, but it'll just look cleaner, crisp. So I thought these would be cute for February. So to get them out to you guys, so then you can be working on them. These would be really cute to paint the whole sheet, and then you could do color printing. So then you paint the whole sheet, cut out like these pieces, and anything else that's going to be white, you could do it that way for bulk painting and assembling. I try to do that if I'm going to be preparing for an event or something. I try to do that if I can. It just makes things so much quicker. And then a little tip that I do, I don't mask anything anymore. So if I did pre-paint, I would just go back with a little wet paper towel or even my little wet baby wipe. I actually have a wet like dish towel kind of thing. It's almost like a microfiber one though, so it doesn't leave any lint behind. And that's, I have 3 running, so if one gets too dirty, then I just throw it in the wash, and that works out really good. So I'm not sure how fast these are gonna dry in my room. And if you wanted a more solid white, then you could either sponge it with a makeup sponge or just come back multiple times. Okay, or paint it on like a paintbrush. I don't really like paintbrush, how it leaves streaks and stuff, so I don't do it that way. I gave you a score line, so then when these are on, I just thought, you know, just so then I'm gonna do Bohemian Black in the background. So let's get that done, so then that's drying. And then I'll do the donut part too, so then that's drying. I'm just gonna use a makeup sponge. I used to be able to get them at the Dollar Tree, but they don't make them as solid. They're a little more porous, so I wouldn't highly recommend those. I'm using Bohemian Black. For all my stuff, I like Bohemian Black, but you, by all means, whatever colors you want to use for your project, you go right ahead. Oh, let's grab a little bit more. This is just what I'm going to do. I don't like to have to go and buy 1,000,001 paints because they're not cheap. Oh, since we're talking about paint, I do get a question a lot about what kind of paints do I use. I use, so they are Home Depot samples and I get these bottles from Amazon, but like this number, it's actually a Sherwin-Williams color. But you can take it to Home Depot and they will color match for you. And honestly, like when I tell them Bohemian Black, they bring it right up and it's on there. It's not a big deal. So I just kind of gave you the little score marks as a guide so you didn't have to do the whole thing. But if you feel confident enough not to have them on, that's just one less thing that has to be scored for time. So by all means, just omit that score on there. And this doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be on in the background. So, okay. So let's do the donut just so then it can be drying. So then when I need to put it together, I am doing soft fawn, and then I'm going to go back with a little bit of Turkish coffee, just so then I can add a little shading. And you're going to be like, why is she even painting this? But it'll give me a good base. I know it's like literally almost the same color, but it'll give me a good base to add the shading. I know. And so again, I'm just using the baby white method. Okay, so I want to now get the icing of my donut. Since we're doing Valentine's Day, I chose grenadine as my color. You could always lighten it a little bit if it was a little bit too much pink. And then, but this is going to be my icing. And we'll see how long it takes me to, I should have maybe had it done a little, I wanted them to look like little, you know, like little seed beads. So that's why I did the sprinkles on there, kind of the way I did them. If you ever do any type of like hand stitching, embroidery, sometimes use like seed beads. So just making sure my edges are okay because it will be seen. So there's my pink. I think I'm gonna try to find a clean spot here on my baby wipe, and I'm gonna try to do one more coat, that up there, on my little letters because they just didn't get quite as white. I don't want them white, but I kind of want them a little bit white. I'm trying to just stay on top of the project here so I don't get it off to the on the edges. So hopefully everybody's kind of winding down and you're getting ready to enjoy the holidays together with family and friends. Okay, this wipe is pretty much toast. I just heard some banging and I guarantee it's my chickens coming to sneak up on me. Okay, so we'll set those aside. This is not dry yet. Let's see if I can I need a stand so I can set this up to dry. Excuse me just 1 second. Let's see if we can get some of these pieces to dry a little bit so I can sand them and shade. At this time then what I would do is I've got this stuff from the snow globes everywhere. Anyways, I did the back with Turkish coffee. Again, you could pre-do your boards, so then that's one less step. And let's see if this is gonna be dry enough for me. Maybe we can add some shading to this one while we're here. Okay. Sorry guys. So I'm gonna use again this Turkish coffee, and I'm gonna do a little bit of shading, but first I'm gonna take my 220 grit sandpaper and just give it a little sand. I use birch ply, and so when I get it wet, the little fibers like to poke up, and so then it won't give me a good nice when I come back and shade a nice smooth surface. Okay, let's take this slow so you can see what I'm doing. So I have just a teeny bit of Turkish coffee here. I wet my brush already. I'm just gonna put just barely anything on the tip there, and I'm gonna come across and I'm gonna do like an ombre effect. And so then as I pull it down, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. You can kind of see how that's working out. And then I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna go along the edge and just give it a little, like it was baked. Or fried, I guess, is how donuts are made, right? And then I'm just giving it a little extra around the edge. And then again, I'm gonna dip my brush in my water and I'm tapping it out. I just have a wet little paper towel there, and I'm gonna go right back into this spot. See how there's still quite a bit on there? I think I had accidentally left the garage door open to get into my shed, and I think I have visitors. Chickens. I can hear them. At least that's what I hope it is. So we did that. Let's see if this little frosting piece is ready. If not, we can try to do the little letters. So again, my 220 grit sandpaper. I'm looking around to see if there's anything sneaking up on me. That would be kind of awful. I have my laser running in the background. So I'm just blowing out the little score marks there. So I don't even think I'm gonna add, like, you could always go around the edge and add like a little shading. Guess I don't know what's in the room with me. But I think this did enough for me. So we'll just leave that like that. And what I'm gonna do is take this little stylus, I just got it at the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna go through and kind of go like every other one with white flour. I'm only gonna do a couple just so then you can see it, otherwise for time purposes. You can kind of see, and then I'm gonna do Showstopper was the other one that I'm gonna use. And again, you can use whatever colors you want. And if you think that the underlining pink is too too much and you're not getting the effect you want, by all means, lighten it up. I do see a little, I'm gonna take this little tool here, again, from the Dollar Tree. I just got a little bit in this. Nobody would probably even see it, but I would, so. But there, you can see how the little sprinkles are gonna go. So I wanted to make sure to show you that. So again, okay, go through the whole thing, do that. For time purposes, I'm not going to. We're going to sand these, which they're a little bit wet, dang it, and add a little bit of shading to them. And you could, if you had them white and you did this, you could just probably leave them just like that, and after you sanded them, and that would give it enough like roughed up look. But I'll again show you again with the Turkish coffee. I'm just wetting my brush down in water. I'm gonna damp it off here, and then I'm gonna come in again just on the tip of my brush there and work it down. And we'll just start on the edge. And my project isn't dry all the way. Come back right into that same line that I had. You definitely want to make sure your project's dry, guys. I got new brushes, but I haven't even taken them out of the package yet to even try. It's been a little bit busy. I have chicks in the incubator that, so chickens take 21, I'll just give you a little lesson if you didn't already know. They take 21 days to hatch. But on day 18, my incubator has a little rotating thing in it, so it does it all kind of automatically. So on day 18, you take them out of the little rotator and you put them at the bottom of the incubator, and then they just sit and then they hatch on day 21. So on Saturday will be day 18, so I am super excited. We had some weather that I hope didn't affect my eggs, so we will see. Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you how many I have in there because it's ridiculous, but maybe I'll give you a little picture if you're interested when they hatch. So I'm just going around the edge with the same Turkish coffee, just giving it a little aged look to it. And really this project would go super quick if I had my stuff dry. I'm getting kind of a little bit of a water line because my project's still wet, but we're gonna keep plugging away here. Okay, cute. Okay, so now let me set this aside, and this is how it's gonna go. There's that. So I'll probably glue it all just like that. Sorry, you're not even in the shot here. And then I'll show you how to put on the little kickstand. I'm not going to do it because I'm actually going to put it on the thicker one, but I'll just show you how it works. So let's glue these pieces on. I'm going to try not to touch my little speckles because, or my, what are they called? Sprinkles, because I really don't want to wreck that. I'm just making sure that it's lining up. Okay. This is, I know you've heard me ramble, but maybe if you're new, about this glue. I love this glue. It is called Art Glitter Glue. I do have an affiliates page up at the top, so if you click in there, it should be in there. If you can't find the link, just let me know. I absolutely love this glue. It dries clear. It takes a little bit so you can work with it, the project. That's what I love the most, is so then you have time to work. But then it's just a really good all-around good glue. Chris at Sawdust Makery had turned me on to that, so I really like it. It's really simple to put them in these littler bottles for precision. Again, I have a link for those too if you want the little bottles. Just make sure that actually looks good. I just want to make sure there's no line or anything showing. Okay, so we'll let that sit for just a second. So you can decide, or you can print out two if you want, because I made them, these are obviously going to go on the back side, but I made them so they were small enough to fit on either the V or the E, and you could do both if you wanted. Or I know I do have, that I offer free, is the little, you could put them in a little stand too. But I just thought, well, I'll give you this. And there's multiple different sizes, so then this you would attach on the back. Let me see if I can do that, show you where. And I would recommend, I was almost thinking the E just because it kind of was in farther, but if you wanted to put them on both, you could. So I would recommend up a little ways, just so then, can you see that? Just up a little bit, not like directly on the bottom here. So then this piece fits in there, but it's gonna give it kind of enough so it'll slant back, if that makes sense. Like it'll sit back a little bit if it's up a little bit farther. So you're gonna glue that piece on, then that piece goes into there, and that's how it works. Okay. So let me see, just make sure all of this is still, since I was moving it around. So that looks good. So to me, I think that is finished. I'm going to go back and I'm going to keep adding my little sprinkles on there, but that is the project. So this is the freebie, and then it'll be available if you miss out. It'll be available on the site to purchase. All right, thank you.